So your iPad has a few different apps that you can use to help control or manage what goes on within your classroom. The first of those is one called the Manager app. Now, the Manager app, chances are you've only used to install things in the past, but it can actually do a lot more than that. So when I open up my Manager app, you may see something like this that shows a series of classes that exist. Class name is going to be listed, as well as the hour at the end of that. So I have a class here that I'm ready to start managing. So first thing I need to do is I need to double check my absentee list. I need to make sure that I mark any students who are not in class presently absent. That includes students who might be in ISS, students who might be on a field trip, somebody who's not in your room, because this will monitor or control their devices anywhere they're at. So if they're at home absent and you don't mark them absent, then they are going to lose all of their apps whenever you start your class. Or if they are in ISS, they may or may not be working on your classwork at this current time. So if I lock them out of all their apps, it's going to apply to those students whether they're in your classroom walls or not. So taking attendance is really important, and all I would have to do is simply check the box next to any student who's not there. Now, I can set a duration for the class, so I could set it to be 48 minutes long or whatever, but I can also adjust that in class, so if I don't get it exactly right, I can do that. And I can choose that within this class, when I start it, I can tell it to hide apps that are not on my list of study apps. Those show up on the left. We'll edit those in a second. I could tell it to mute all apps, which turns off all sound and notifications of all apps. And I can choose whether or not to enable Bluetooth or not, which I would recommend you turn Bluetooth on all student devices when you do this, especially if you're planning on using Apple Classroom, because that requires Bluetooth within your classroom walls. So once I have this set, I'm ready to go ahead and start my class. So when I'm in the class, this is what the screen looks like. It gives me a timer at the top and tells me how many minutes are left of this class. I have a button where I can end the class and a button to simply add 10 more minutes to this class if I want to. At any time, if a student walks in late and I need to manage their device, I can go ahead and tap on the Absent Students button and simply adjust my absentee list and hit Save. And you'll notice with each person, it gives me some information. I can see their battery life. I can see if they have Wi-Fi. That's what the second icon means. The third icon means they have Bluetooth turned on. The fourth one means they have their camera turned on. And then the 15.6.1 tells me that she is running the version of operating system 15.6.1, which means she is up to date. Now, it also says push pending. If it says push pending or update, that just simply means that it is going to be talking back and forth with its devices. So the way this app works is when I'm doing things or setting up things, it's going to send commands through the internet to this device in order to be able to manage it. So that's called a push. So when I change a setting or if I lock a kid's apps, it will send a push to that person's device, which is going to make that command take place. So to manage the actual classroom, I'm going to do that on the left-hand side. The first thing I can do, and this is probably the most popular option, is something called Study Apps. Study Apps is the ability for you to set a default set of apps as the only apps that you want students to have on their device. So, for example, right now students have all their apps available to them. But if I know that we are going to be doing something in my specific class, that we are only going to be using the Canvas app, and then maybe the Canvas app is going to have a link to a Google Doc as part of an assignment, and then maybe something in Drive or Safari as well. It's really tempting to want to lock kids into one app, but I would recommend that you think through the entire process, because chances are the Canvas app might have an assignment in it that requires them to use the internet, so then they would need to have Safari, or a YouTube video is going to pull up in Safari. Or again, if it's something where they're going to have to use Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, they may need the Drive app or some of their other Google apps. Now, once you've set up this list, the handy thing is that it will remember these the next time you go to use this. So if you have a set list that you use all the time for your class, it's a simple way to do that. And to add an application to the list, all I have to do is simply tell it to add that app. Now, there's two different types of apps. I have what are called native apps. These are Apple's apps. These are the apps that come with my device from Apple. If I tap up there, I can choose for apps and books. These are apps that are specific to, or basically non-Apple apps that the district pushes out to all of our devices. So you can pick and choose which ones they get access to. So Canvas Student, for example, is one of those. And all I have to do is check the box, and then check the box again, and then those apps are added to that list. Now, anytime I wanted to lock students in their apps, all I have to do is simply turn on Study Apps. And as soon as I do that, a command is then sent to the student's device. And once they've received that command, all of their apps on their device are going to disappear except for the apps that I've told them to have. Now, you will notice on Penny's device here that, again, most of her apps disappeared except for any apps that I've told them is okay. So here's the student app. And Safari and Docs and Google Drive. But you'll notice they do still get what they call web clips. Web clips are simply shortcuts that link to a website. So things like the like Power School or the Holman website or the password sign, those things are actually not specifically apps. They're just links to websites. So those are always going to show up no matter what. So now the student can't do anything in any of those apps because they literally disappear. And they are going to stay gone until you either turn off Study Apps or until you end the class, which is going to give them permission again. At any time, if I needed to go into my Study Apps and give them another app, I could simply go back and add another application to that list. Now, another thing I can do with the Mosyle app is to use what's called Heads Up. So if I turn Heads Up on, what Heads Up does is gives me the ability to give a personal message to my students. I could do something like, I need your eyes on me. And once I hit Apply Heads Up, this will send this message to every student in this class, and it's going to lock them into this specific message. Now, this will both lock their screen and allow you to send a message to every single student at the same time. They can't do anything to get out of it. They can't hit the home button to get out of it. They can't restart their device to get out of it. Otherwise, it's going to come right back up. They can only get access back when I tell it to remove Heads Up. And so by simply tapping Remove Heads Up, that turns that off. And then students are then giving access to your device again. So theoretically, you could start your class off with Heads Up turned on until you're ready for students to use their devices. And then once you're ready, you remove Heads Up, then they're allowed to do their work. And then once they're completed with their work, you could go ahead and use Heads Up again to lock those devices back down. Again, you just need to make sure that you end your class at the end by simply tapping on class and tell it to end class. Now, there is a safe test, which is like a lockdown browser where you can give them a link to a URL to be able to allow them to take a test. We actually have some better options for that using what's called the Respondus Lockdown browser that we'll talk about in a different video. You could do an app lock. This does the same thing as Study App, except it locks them into one app, and then you could go ahead and tell them or give them a duration if you wanted in here. So you could set them to have Canvas Student for 5 minutes or something along those lines. It does have the ability to do a quick poll for short answer and multiple choice just to collect information for students. And there's a really quick open the Classroom app. And what this does is it literally launches the Apple Classroom app, which again, if you have that app, I just simply tap open. That app launches, and now I can open up my device or open up my classroom right here in Apple Classroom, and then be able to manage or monitor my device this way. So I can tell, hey, here's Penny. she has got the Manager app open because her device is still locked. Now, if I see the word update next to a device, if I have a student whose device did not respond. So, for example, I have heads up turned off, but Penny the Pirate is still locked. I could go ahead and tap the update button, and it will send an updated request to that specific student to release them or to make sure that they get that command if it doesn't necessarily do it when I tell them to. And then once class is over, all I have to do is tell it to end class. And then as soon as I do that, class will be ended. All the students' apps will reappear back on their device. And then they'll be back to the way it was before class started. So that is the Manager app and the power that you get to control all of the devices within your classroom on your terms.